We are talking about book marketing this month, and today we're going to do something really fun. Gala has no idea. I'm gonna interview Gala and use NLP, neuro linguistic programming. I have a certification in that from NLP Marin here in California, Northern California. I'm in Northern California. Gala is in Northern California. Where are you hailing from? What do you write? Share in the chat. And share any book marketing questions you have. We're already preparing the rest of the month. I am a science fiction and fantasy book coach, and I specifically help people with editing and revision. We have an edit lab that I'll tell you more about at the end, how you can learn more about that. Gala, what are you sharing with folks today, and what's your specialty?
Hi, I am a romance author, so all of my books that I published are romance books. I publish under Willa Drew as a pen name with my co-author. And then currently I'm writing an urban fantasy trilogy. So many things going on there. And I work as a book coach with one-on-one people of genres such as romance, romantasy, fantasy, memoirs. I really like working with memoirs as well. I also really love working with people who are very, very beginners, who are either have an idea or started but haven't finished their first book and are just in that first learning everything and writing at the same time, that huge overwhelm. So that's something I really love working with. I also love helping people who want to put a romantic subplot into their book, no matter the genre, whether you're writing horror or historical fiction. If you want to put a romantic subplot and you're not sure how, I love helping with that. And I'm going to be running a writing novel one-on-one, very high touch, very small group class. That is a 12-week class that starts in September. It is live, digging into your stories, working on your stories. It's not lecture, so I can talk a little bit more about that and give you some links. I have a wait list open for that, and I'm probably going to start enrolling people at the end of August or beginning of September, and it's going to start the second week of September. So very excited about that.
That's so great. We'll share our links a little bit later on. We go about 30 minutes today. And as I walk Gala through this book marketing series of questions, first of all, each of you think about what it is that you would like in terms of your book marketing, because that's our topic today. And Gala, I know you're working on a first draft, but I also know you have a backlist. And let's talk about marketing. Even at the beginning phase of writing a book, we still want to think about marketing. We don't want to, and both Gala and I are experienced novelists. I have 12 novels published. I think you have 9 novels published. I have 5 nonfiction books. And I'm also a producer. So like I help people produce things, books, podcasts, and hopefully film too. I'm working on that. I have a short film in post-production. So all that to say, there's the creating time and then there's the marketing time. So let's start, Gala, with this very first question. When you think about book marketing right now in your present time, what would you like? What is the wish here for yourself?
For people to be curious and for people to know, how it's like, oh, she's writing a book. Oh, like that's happening.
Oh, good.
So that they're aware, like awareness and curiosity from the readers. If that's what you're asking about. Yeah,
absolutely. Everyone playing at home, think about what you would like in your book marketing. Next question related to that. So once you have people curious and noticing that you are writing a book, what will having that do for you?
Hopefully they will follow me to see where this is all gonna take and kind of like join me on the road, not only, oh, the book is ready. I also am hoping that people will be able to like a little bit self-select, where as I talk about my book and as I kind of talk about my journey, they're like, oh yeah, this is something I would totally like to read. Like you were guiding me through the author statement, and some people were like, oh yeah, this is totally a book that I would like to read. And I think that's kind of what I'm hoping for, right? For people to say, yeah, I want to read that.
That's great. So once people say self-select and they say, yeah, yeah, I want to read that, what else? What will having that do for you?
If they want to read that, then I mean, again, they will be maybe paying more attention to what I'm sharing. Maybe they're gonna want to sign up for to be an ARC reader or beta reader or like participate closer in the project and be more hands-on. Maybe they would end up being on a street team, or I would just tell other people like, oh yeah, I'm following this person who's writing this urban fantasy and it has witches, vampires, and demons, and there is like gods and goddesses that are still alive, and then there is this like transactional magic that is happening, and there's so like interesting thing. It's just kind of like I feel like when we're interested in something, I when I watch shows like I was watching Better Call Saul, and I feel like I plugged Better Call Saul in most of my live calls and newsletters because I was like, oh, I'm watching Better Call Saul, and now I kind of like I'm thinking in different thing about different things in terms of how that show was implementing them. So I think that if my book becomes kind of like back of their mind, they might end up sharing about it or thinking about it as they are reading maybe another book, or I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like this is very vague, but yeah.
that's okay. No, what you're talking about, yeah, share about it, tell others about it. Yeah. Anything else? Like once people are curious and they're paying attention to you and they're telling other people about your book and it's back of their mind. Is there anything else that having people curious about your book do for you?
I think that I'm going maybe too material, but I think that it will inspire me to keep going in the moments when I am doubting myself. Like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the last 2 months I was stuck on a particular plot point, which is like I wanted to incorporate a mystery. I've never written mysteries. I'm like, I have no idea how to do this. So I ended up basically mostly stopping and reading a bunch of books on mystery writing and taking courses. And I'm kind of like, oh, maybe it's just like too much. Am I doing too much? And I just like was doubting myself hugely. So I think having people interested in saying, no, 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 we want to see it will maybe give me more motivation internally to finish and to get through the hard times. And also, like, I think some of my dreams are definitely like, people doing artwork or people imagining what those characters look like and things like that. But I do not know, like, if I'm still writing and they haven't read it, it's probably more after the publication kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. A big part of our book marketing is that reinforcement, and and it encourages you to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so coming back to the original question of what would you like, you said initially you said you wanted to have people curious, but it's okay if you answer differently when I ask you again.
Yeah.
And this is part of the NLP process too. Our goals change. So yeah, if I ask you again right now, what would you like with your book marketing? Just want to check in with you if anything has changed or you've added anything.
I think I will go deeper than not just curious. I would say I would like for people to be excited and looking forward to reading the book and talking about it in whichever way that they talk about books in whichever community that they're part of.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. And so another important question is how will you know when you have that? How will you know that people are talking about your book and excited about your book?
Comments on my posts, tagging me in things. I've had in the past people like somebody says, "Oh, what are the best books about fake dating that you would recommend reading?" And there's like, "Oh, Willa Drew, Not a Fake Chance," and then they will tag us, and you're like, "Oh, somebody read it and like thought of this book to
Mm.
recommend it as something that somebody else would do." Another weird thing was on one of the summits I was posting about in the fall when I started writing this every day, how I was writing and what I was doing. And then another uh, book coach used my videos
Mm.
as, oh, this is how you can actually do how can you promote, how can you market your book while you're still writing it. And she used me as an example in one of her talks. And then she like tagged me and all of that stuff, which was kind of like not a reader, but still interesting and satisfying that, oh, somebody else noticed and thought that this was a cool idea to do.
Yeah. Great. So I want to pause here and just share with everyone kind of what I was just doing. Not only was asking Gala what she wanted, but I was also asking what will having that do for you, which is to get to the deeper motivations. And I asked it a few times, and we found out it's not just the external, it's also the internal, right? How you feel about it and how it encourages you. And then I next asked, how will you know when you have it? What is the evidence outside of yourself that lets you know you have arrived at the goal? So I know I want to go a little bit further because there's a few more questions to ask that are the NLP suite, but I just want to check in with you to see how you're doing. How is this? Is this okay? Me asking?
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Okay,
Keep going.
now, good. So here's the big question. A big question that could be thought-provoking, which is, once you have people who are curious and excited, and you're excited about your book, what might you lose that you value?
I think with all marketing, what I've noticed, okay, I'll give you a little backstory. In June, one of my reels went viral for me. I had like I'm over 70,000 views on Instagram. And that was awesome because that also brought a lot of new followers to me. But that was also very emotionally and time consuming, because emotionally, and I'm like, oh my God, before I had like my 1,000 people and I felt very comfortable talking about all the nonsense that I talk about, very off the cuff. And I don't really care because, there's such a small audience. And now when my audience tripled, if not quadrupled, I'm like, oh my God, am I going to get haters? Should I restrict? Should I not talk about certain things? Should I strategize and talk about only like 3 things that are my pillars? Or like I was overthinking, I was spending a lot of time and a lot of emotional energy. Like I was feeling very, very vulnerable and activated, and I had to go touch the grass. And that entire month, I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Like I'm going to get canceled. Did I say anything stupid in my previous videos that people are going to go through and say, well, she's like a horrible person? So much doubt. And then the other thing was I was spending a lot of time trying to like, oh my God, okay, I have all of these people paying attention to me. So I need to do everything right. I have to come up with a strategy. I have to like figure out why this video worked and how can I duplicate it. And I have to, instead of spending, whatever time I was spending on marketing before, like I need to like 5-druple, like multiply my time on marketing, because otherwise the FOMO kicked in. I'm gonna lose this opportunity. This is such a huge opportunity. I need to be talking in front of these people. So I was not writing. As a result, I think partially too, in June and July, I was writing very little. I was writing very, very little because of the emotional upheaval and all of the extra time that all of this marketing brouhaha led me to. So yeah, there was a lot that I lost as a result, and I am kind of like a little bit afraid of that going forward. There is definitely a little bit of a fear of that exposure, and I have to talk myself like, you handled that, you're probably going to handle the next thing too. But like I get like, oh, I like even now I get all activated just thinking about it. So that was a good question.
Yeah, it is, and sorry, I'm adding the questions into the chat. Oh, the sensor details was supposed to go with number 3. Yeah, that's very real. Analysis paralysis. Yeah, Phyllis. And I just want to say welcome to everyone who's joined us: Jen, Phyllis, Tessa, Vin, Tessera. What would you like for your book marketing? How will you know when you have that? And what will having that do for you? And I just asked Gala, what might you lose that you value? And it's very real. A lot of people say it's, shorthanded fear of success, but it's like all that attention on you, all the way it took you away from your writing, the way it had you second guessing yourself, how to take advantage of it. Yeah, those are very real things. And you just said something very powerful. You said, I handled it before and I can handle it again. So you basically gave yourself, a pep talk a reframe, self-talk. You use positive self-talk. But before we dive into that, as you say, you go even more viral, say more people find out what you're doing, and especially and about your fiction, more people get excited, more people want to, oh, when is the book coming out? Here's the next question. Who or what may be affected by what you want from, from having more people curious and excited about your coming book?
I think my family comes first to mind because that the other downside was that I was going to spend the summer with my kids as much as I could, and I ended up not spending as much time with them as I wanted. I ended up taking 1 week vacation on purpose without like working because I'm like, okay, I'm really failing as a parent right now because my kids are home and they have nothing to do, and I was going to go and do all of these adventures and go to the pool with them, and I wasn't doing anything like that or was doing very, very minimally. So I was definitely, and I don't like feeling guilty about this. I've been fighting over this and I talk about this a lot. Like, I think like feeling guilty about not doing something while you're doing something else is just a very much a waste of time. So I'm like, okay, if I cannot do it right now, I'll just block and have 1 week off. But my family was affected. And I think that my family would always be affected. I start always thinking about, security. You can find my face online and find my address and like who knows what. I really don't think that writing coaching is such a controversial topic, but who knows, like people are weird. Somebody can come and say something. I think on one of my comments I recently I was talking about having books needing to have conflict and what conflict means to have in a book, and then there was a comment saying, why are you teaching it? Like everybody in high school learns about what conflict in books is. Like, this is such basic stuff. And I started doubting myself immediately. I'm like, yeah, I do teach beginners. I do teach a lot of basic stuff. Am I too basic? Is this too basic? Like, should I not be talking about it? Like the whole spiral. So me,
Yeah.
myself, and my self-confidence is probably the next one that is affected.
Mhm.
And I mean, probably even my friends, because if I don't have time, then I end up canceling. And if I'm so overstimulated, a lot of times I have to cancel meetings with people just because I need to use my other tools to ground myself and like to sleep more, to go work out, and to do other things that I really need to regulate my nervous system instead of going and being exposed to more people, which only is going to get me more, I don't
Yeah.
know, anxious. So
Yeah.
those three areas right away, yeah,
Yeah.
affected.
Yeah, for reals. I mean, when we shift and change and grow, we do affect the people around us, and also yourself, your nervous system. Yeah, for real. And so, one more question: uh, How might you have to change, um, or want to change to have what you want with book marketing, with having more people putting their attention on you, with having people excited about your book coming out and telling their friends?
I told you right before on Saturday, and this is the woo-woo side of me, as it's in astrology. This is not even not astrology; it's kind of like a new age, whatever. But it was 8/8, August 8th is
Right.
considered like
Yes.
Lion Gate activation, and I was doing a lot of those questions, and one of them was actually similar to this, and what I have arrived, which I think is the same answer as I would give it here. They're kind of like with two major answers. One was ask me the question. It's how might affect change have
How might you have to change to have or be what you would really want? um,
think I thought that I need to the phrase that was coming to me a lot was the name of Brene Brown's book, Daring Greatly.
mm-hmm.
And the image was I always feel like my house is made out of glass, and if people are throwing stones, it's gonna break. What if my house is not made out of glass but out of the super reinforced glass that stops bullets?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think there needs to be people say thicker skin. People say, like, what came up to me was like courage,
Mm,
right? Courage in
yeah,
service of becoming the new person
yeah,
that you are, right? instead of abandoning myself because I'm afraid of all of those outside negative possible influences, I have the courage to keep going and not be that afraid. And that requires a lot of emotional support, a lot of like support systems set up where you have people who you can go to, a lot of like rituals, or like, as I say, touch grass, but in reality, like a lot of times I go and I sit on my deck and just kind of like do nothing and stare in space or go work out. And I know those rituals help me. And that takes time. Like that takes time from writing, that takes time from doing something, because those are a different kind of doing, a kind of doing that grounds you. So dedicating time to those types of supports and acknowledging that I cannot just grind through it, that I need to reinforce myself to be able to withstand that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
Whoop, that was a lot of talking.
Because you said something really important in there, and I hope people hear it, which is to not abandon yourself. That's something I've been realizing recently too. It's like to have one's own back. It's great. We need other people to have our back and have their support. And you talked about the emotional support systems. It's so important. And we need to have our own backs. We need to not abandon ourselves. We need to support ourselves. Good self-talk, self-care. What you're talking about is self-care. It's non-negotiable. It's not negotiable. You need those things. Of course, it takes away from other things, but without your grounding rituals, how are you going to be able to handle the next level of visibility, the next level of like video going viral, the next level of people leaning in, asking you about your book? We need that. It's non-negotiable. I love what Phyllis has here. Just like a book has to have a premise, an author has to have a premise/belief in who you are and why you are on the writing journey. Absolutely. And why you're doing this, and how for you, like what is writing for you, and you're working on a whole new genre. You've got urban fantasy, you've got mysteries, and you're stretching yourself as a writer. And any writer who stretches themselves into new genres, I've seen every book. I'm working on a fantasy adventure romance. Oh my God, totally new from the other three genres, which are also in sci-fi and fantasy, and also mystery. I have a whole sci-fi mystery series. But now I'm doing something else. I'm like, what is this thing? I do not even know, but I'm having fun with it. And I really want to lean into the process and have fun with it and explore and not let it be so, because I'm pantsing it completely. So it's a little hard to market right now, but I can just talk about the fact that I'm doing it. And it's yeah. So I just want to share with everyone, I put in the chat the basic questions, but I don't know if you noticed, I tried to do it. It's a little challenging in this medium, but to use your words. When you work this system with yourself or with others, you want to use their words and their tone and their voice and be very gentle and in rapport. But you can also ask yourself these questions. So I invite you to do that. And as we wrap up today, what are some of the other, so you basically brought yourself into a reframe. I didn't do it. You did it, Gala, about how you need to be compassionate and self-care and ground yourself, take your time for those things. And so as you go about your day after this level of questioning, let yourself do those things, ground, be outdoors, take some time, because we just went through a little change process. So let yourself integrate. It's going to take the time it takes. You did a beautiful job. We did it off the cuff. That was great, which is always the best way. Yeah. Do you have? Yeah, good. And I want to hear from anybody, if you want to put in the chat what you're working on, any book marketing questions that you have. Next week, we're going to talk about how to find alpha, beta, and ARC readers. And the week after that, we're going to talk about how to run a book review campaign for your backlist. And we need one more topic for August, because there's 3 more Mondays for August. So if anyone has questions or topics they would like us to cover, let us know. Between the two of us, we've pretty much done it all, I'm pretty sure. And I could talk about, we didn't put in here street team. Should we do street team after that?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to cover Street Team next time. The between Alpha, Beta, and Arc, I think as a separate item. Yeah, we can definitely do Street Team as a separate item.
We'll talk about how to,
and maybe also like running communities, because I run a Discord, you run a Facebook group. I think that also could kind of be like, I'm not sure, we can figure that out, but community support, maybe like you using your community to support your launch and your author career.
Yeah, I set up a Facebook group for one of my books. I'm building community. I'm re-releasing it. I'm making a film. Yeah, we're starting at the very beginning of doing that. Building fandom.
I love that. Yeah.
That's so good. Gala, you have a link for your writing class?
I do. I feel like I might have sent it to you before. If not, you're going to give me a second to find the waitlist link. Did I send you the waitlist link before? Do you want to search in your email waitlist?
For that. And if you're curious about my edit lab, start with my Edit Your Novel checklist at edityournovelchecklist.com. It gives you the 30,000-foot view of where to start your revisions. I specialize in science fiction and fantasy writers, so that's my jam. All right, Phyllis has a question. My question is how you can find an audience if you initially start out posting work not for sale, aka free, as in posting fanfic. Oh my God, that is such a Gala question.
Done that. I know exactly the answers.
Okay, so maybe we do that one next time. I don't know anything about that. I mean, I know how to do it from the nonfiction side, but don't answer.
I think that we could probably add it into next week's topic, because I think that's just like a little flavor. Like, I don't think it's a 30 minutes worth of discussion.
Okay.
I think let's just remember to link, as we were talking about Beta, Alpha, and Arc, do this as a topper. Yeah. Totally can do that.
Okay.
I am.
And then I will find Gala's link. If you're curious to talk with Gala, shall I give them the 15-minute?
You can give them the 15-minute link, and I'm email you the wait list, because Beth is on her computer and I'm on my phone, so I can't copy paste things as easily as she can. So she has to be the paster of things.
So if you go to galarusauthor.com/15, you'll be able to sign up for a 15-minute discovery call. And also you can check out her Write Your Novel checklist, which is awesome. We both have checklists. Yes, you're about to say something. Sorry.
Yeah, I just sent you the waitlist thing. And I think next in September, we're probably going to be going back to craft topics. Yes. So if you have any craft topics that are burning or whatever you're working on, we will go back to that in September and spend at least a couple of months, I think, doing that. And then we'll see what's next. If there are any other topics, like I know that some people are wondering about self-publishing and things like that. I don't know that we need to do an entire month on it, but like if people are curious about that, we both have done a lot of work in there and we could definitely help too.
Absolutely. So wyn101online.subscribepage.io is the waitlist page for Gala's Write Your Novel class that starts in the middle of September. So yes, we both can talk about self-publishing. I've self-published over 20 books of my own. My husband is self-published like 20, and I've been hired to be a book producer for other people, and also podcast producer, and also there's more. I can produce a lot of things.
There's so many different ways and different, like, it's not just Amazon KDP. There are so many different things that you can explore depending on what you want to do.
Yeah, that's
I think we decided we're going to do 10-15 going forward.
10-15 going forward just helps with our timing.
Morning stuff.
Yeah, we're both so I hope that works, Phyllis. We had 7 people join us right away. Thank you everyone for joining us. Like I said, if you have questions, anything, craft, marketing, publishing, process, mindset, the whole shebang, both Gal and I, gosh, combined, we probably have 50 years of experience or something. We both have such depths of experience. Yes, 10-15 next week. Thank you for the hearts, everyone. Have a great week. Happy writing, and we'll see you all around. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yay.